Mr. IQ, man, you know, every time I talk to you, there's always something that wrinkles my brain. And I've just been thinking about this thing about value. And I was just thinking, I was talking to another friend of mine, and we just actually realized when a man finally creates value for himself and elevates himself up the corporate ladder or up the value chain, I guess, and um, he is more skillful, he is more knowledgeable. Once he reaches that level, the problem is we we try to go we try to go to those levels with our friends and with the circle that we initially had when we go to that level. But the problem is your friends and the people in your circle are not climbing that value. They're not going up that value at the same rate that you are going up that value. I don't know if this makes sense, because okay. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because, damn, I'm really struggling to articulate this idea, but it's very clear in my head. I'm just struggling to articulate it. But let me try my level best. So you're an individual. You finally started climbing up the corporate ladder or whatever, and people are starting to recognize you as a high value man. But the friends and the people that are in your circle are struggling to climb up the ladder at the same rate that you are climbing up. But because you've had these friends and this circle of people from the time when you had nothing and you were completely an insignificant grain of sand on the beach, because you feel mentally, you feel, I need to take care of them, I need to be around these people, and I need to carry on surrounding myself with these people, and these people now look up to you. They say, wow, that's amazing. I need to I need to latch onto this person because my friends who have not, I guess, made it successfully, they look up to me. They're like, wow, this is a really good friend. But now the problem I'm facing now is these people are constantly reaching out for money, for help, for guidance, and all that kind of stuff, which is fine. You can help these out because these were your friends that were there with you, from when you had nothing. But the problem I'm seeing is they're dragging you down more than you are able to lift them up. That's what I'm seeing. They're dragging me down more than I am able to lift them up. And it got me thinking about that analogy you talked about, that loaf of bread being sold in one supermarket and the other supermarket where it's cheaper. So, like, for instance, a loaf of bread being sold at Nakumat for 1,000 shillings, and a similar loaf of bread being sold in Naivas, for instance, for maybe 500 shillings. If you take the same bread from Nakumat, and try and sell it at Naivas for 1,000, people at Naivas are going to be like, I'm not going to pay freaking 1,000 shillings for this. I'm going to pay 500 for this. And so it has degraded the value because you brought it into a surrounding or an environment where its value has just degraded. So even if you have elevated yourself up the value chain, I guess you can say, but you're surrounding yourself with people that either are ignorant and do not want to build themselves up as well, then you're going to be dragged down. And it is harder for you to lift these people up. You can't lift them up. You've already lifted yourself. You've lifted yourself. You've put in the work to be that better person. But you don't have that strength and power to lift other people up, especially if those other people are not willing to change and improve on themselves. You cannot help people who don't want to help themselves. Like, I'm just thinking about this, man. Damn, it's wrinkling my brain, bro. So do we change our circle? Do we change our circle of friends? We need to cut these people off, even though they say, no, but we've been with you from the time you had nothing. Oh, man, it's a very interesting thing to think about, man. What do you do? Because I've had these friends from a very long time, and they were presented with the same opportunities that I was presented with. Yet they are where they are. I am where I am. I'm not saying I'm looking down on them. I'm laughing at them. Yes, I want to support them. I want them to win. But I feel like when I do that, they're dragging me down more than I am lifting them up. Let me know what you think, man.